one of the things that we find that becomes a big problem with archers is that when they've got the body position set correctly and then they need to lift the arms up to bring the bow up to go into your shot cycle, that the shoulders tend to crunch up towards the neck. Now the reason for this is that modern lifestyles behind steering wheels, behind desks, like I've mentioned before, tend to roll the shoulders forward and tend to leave you with an imbalance in muscular imbalance in the shoulders. So the specific reason for this is that the upper traps or trapezius muscles are overactive, and so when you're wanting to lift the arms up, they crunch and pull your shoulders up towards each other and towards the neck, so you end up with a like hunched shoulder position. So if you're lifting up the bow, that's basically what we get. Obviously I'm exaggerating, it's not always that bad, some people do have it particularly bad, but a very, very simple exercise that we can do that helps us train the flexibility and the muscle balance required to lift the arms without crunching the shoulders is this. So basically how you do is you stand nice and straight, get your body alignment correct, elongating up of the spine, reaching the head up towards the sky, tightening the core. So we're always trying to set the body position correct first. Then what you're doing is you're putting your hands down to the side, and what you're going to do is you can just lightly squeeze your thighs with your hands and stretch down to try and get your fingers sort of almost like you're reaching towards your knees. Then what you're going to do is you're going to then slowly bring the arms out to the side, and what you're trying to do with this is you're focusing as much as you can on keeping the shoulders, so you can sort of find the bone of the shoulder over here. You're trying to keep that position as low as you can through the movement. So what you're trying to eventually do is be able to get your arms sitting exactly level without having the shoulders having come up at all. So ideally the scapulas will actually hold position, and you can then lift your arm entirely using just the deltoids in the arm rather than engaging all of the muscles around the neck and the top of the shoulder. So there is the added challenge here is that a lot of the time it's not just muscle flexibility, but even ligaments and nerves that are actually not, that have shortened. So you need to go through this exercise slowly to make sure that you don't want to strain your nerves or strain your ligaments at all. So what you might find is that even after just a small movement, even over here, you're going to find that you already have a little bit of stretching. Often that stretch feels like it's underneath the arm or it's on the top of the shoulder. Go very slowly into the stretch. Try not to hold it too long, 10-15 seconds at most, and then release it down again. Another way to do this, or a very good way to see that you're doing it correctly, is to stand directly in front of a mirror. If you have the ability to set up 2 mirrors, that also helps, because then you can set up one mirror and one behind you, and then you can look into the one mirror and you'll actually be able to see yourself directly from behind. So I'll add in a little clip here of what this looks like from behind. Let me first show you what bad technique looks like. Starting with the hands down by the side, pushing the fingers down towards the knees and squeezing lightly on the sides of your legs. And then what we're doing is we're going to be lifting up, and as we lift up, you'll see that the upper trap and the rhomboids engage, and that crunches the scapulas towards each other and up towards the neck, and obviously that's going to lead you to bad technique, very uncomfortable technique as well. What we're really looking to try and do is elongate the spine as much as possible, engaging the core, again reaching towards the knees, squeezing the side of the legs, and then we're lifting up with little or maybe even no movement whatsoever in the scapulas and the shoulders. So you can see there's a very big difference between that and that position over there. All right, you might find you get a bit of crunch. Rather, just go to what you can do without shoulder movement. As soon as you feel that you're crunching into the scapulas, rather stop in that position and just practice that. You can do that a few times every day until eventually, if you can get your scapulas and your shoulders to hold position and you can get your arms up like that and completely isolate that movement, that'll make a huge difference to your ability to lift the bow and keeping the shoulders down, and draw and keeping the shoulders down, which is absolutely critical for high performance technique shooting a bow.